This is a little story about a nice guy named Ross. Ross lives with his beautiful partner Joanna and his labradoodle, Fluffy. Ross also has an iPhone. He loves using it to make calls, check his emails, listen to music, play games, basically to do all of the ordinary things people do with their iPhones. And even though everything he does with his phone is really pretty basic, he still loves his iPhone. But Ross, if all you're using your iPhone for is to do all the stuff that an ordinary phone can do, why did you buy it in the first place? It's like buying yourself a cheeseburger and only eating the bun. Ross must have heard us, because one day he decides to take the plunge and jailbreak his iPhone, because he's heard that you can get way more functionality that way. So he heads over to Google and searches for jailbreak iPhone. Boom! He gets pages and pages of results. He clicks a link, stares at the page, and scratches his head. There's so much jargon and techie talk on there that he just can't make any sense out of it. So he goes back to his Google results and he clicks on another link. This page is much better. The site is offering a one-click solution to jailbreak his iPhone. It's not free, but $30 seems a reasonable price to have his iPhone jailbroken automatically. So he enters his card details, clicks to download, and as soon as he opens the file, he realizes he's been scammed. All that the download contains is the same complex information that was available for free on the last site. And did he get his money back? Hell no. So poor, disappointed Ross calls up his techie friend Carl. Carl says he jailbroke his iPod Touch all by himself. Carl also says he'll help Ross out in return for a drink. They sit down together and guess what? Hooray! Ross finally has a jailbroken iPhone. Meanwhile, Carl has scored himself a free beer. And you want to know what happens next? Ross wakes up the next morning and starts using his iPhone to make calls, check his emails, surf the internet, listen to music, play games, and all the other ordinary things that he always did with his iPhone. Hang on a second. If that's all you're going to use your iPhone for, why did you jailbreak it in the first place? Who knows? But one thing's for sure. Ross loves his iPhone. Ross. Hey Ross, do you know about UnseenApps? It's a step-by-step guide with video tutorials, and it gives you access to loads of fantastic applications, like more than 50. Just have a look. Ross goes to UnseenApps.com. He sees that the site is offering a 60-day money-back guarantee backed by ClickBank. Interesting. This time he's at least certain that this is not another scam site. So, with nothing to lose, he gives it a try. The very next morning when Ross's phone starts ringing, he sees it's a call from an unknown number. He absolutely has no idea who's calling, and even though there's no contact in his address book, UnseenApps helps him fetch the name of the person calling automatically from an online directory right while his phone is ringing. He can even see the caller's picture, but that's not the only thing that's changed. Since he grabbed the UnseenApps package, Ross can now share files with his friends with other Bluetooth-enabled phones. He can also send text messages and emails by just taking a photo of an article, perfect for when he doesn't have time to type. And Ross still uses his iPhone to send emails, but these days he adds a professional-looking HTML signature to all his mails. And now he always knows if his email was opened or not because he gets a notification when it happens. Ross loves his music. He has a huge collection, almost as old as him. It used to be pretty untidy too. But since UnseenApps helped him organize it, all the misspelt song titles in his entire collection have been corrected. And every song now has album art, lyrics, and other metadata so he can sort and search his collection by genre, artist, or date. And all this with just one click. Try beating that, iTunes. Next weekend, Ross is all set for a trip to Manhattan. He's really excited, but not just because of the shopping. No, Ross is excited about all the pictures he's planning to take over there. As a keen photographer, Ross usually prefers to take pictures using his digital camera on trips, just because it takes better pictures than his iPhone. But what's really special about this trip is that when he gets back, all the pictures that he takes with his camera will have location data embedded when he transfers them to his computer. That means he'll be able to see the exact location of his picture on iPhone, Google Earth, Flickr, or whatever. And how does this work? Well, it's a combination of the imaging power of his camera, the GPS power of his iPhone, and, of course, the magical ingredient that helps him stitch it all together, UnseenApps. Once you have some photos, you obviously want to put them on your iPhone, so you can flick through them with your friends and family and show them all the exciting things you've seen. Before he had the UnseenApps package, whenever Ross wanted to create or remove a photo album, he had to connect his iPhone to his computer and do it all through iTunes. He just couldn't figure out how to do this in the iPhone's Photo Viewer app. That's okay, buddy. No one can figure that out. It's a mystery because it's not even possible. Apple has decided you shouldn't have this feature, but UnseenApps lets Ross add or remove photo albums, organize his photos and videos by moving them between albums, and even put a password on his private albums. Ross really loves all the new functionality that UnseenApps has released for him. He also loves that UnseenApps is regularly updated, and he especially loves the fact that as an UnseenApps member, he's entitled to free updates for 18 months. Another thing Ross loves is having a super geek at his service all the time. Whenever he has a question about his iPhone, this iDevice genius is on hand, and he's sure to have a solution to any of Ross's problems. This is Ross at home. UnseenApps won't supercharge his TV, his bookshelf, his bathroom, or his pet dog Fluffy. But one thing's for sure, UnseenApps has taken his iPhone to the next level. Ross still loves his iPhone, but now he uses it for much more than just emailing, making calls, and surfing the internet. Ross's friend Carl, the techie guy, also bought UnseenApps for his iPod Touch, but never told Ross about this. If you have an iPhone or an iPod Touch but don't have UnseenApps, well, you don't have UnseenApps.